Well, it's similar. So this is good. What it does is when I post new content on my website, the content management solution should have potentially an automated system it should have an automated system that I may or may not have on, and that system should inform other the Google bots and Yahoo bots and Bing bots or whatever, or Bing Hoo, and it should inform them that I just put up new content. Because what you don't want to happen is for somebody else, before the crawlers or monsters crawl your website, that somebody else grabs your content, puts it out there, and they tell Google or Yahoo, look, I have information. And Google and Yahoo go there and go, oh, these guys just published something. And then eventually they get to your website and go, oh, these guys just copied something.
Oh.
So the pinging is just a way to say, look, I got new content on my page. You guys should come check it out as soon as possible, and don't use those, those hackers who are stealing my information. Did we ever deal with that lady who was copying our
Paula Pollock?
Yeah.
No,
we need to follow up on that, because it just sounds like fun.
Yeah, someone was borrowing our content and blaming it on someone else, and we caught him. And she's probably still doing it too. Even though I called her and was like, hey, come on, man, don't steal my content. We worked hard at that. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, nothing.
Yeah.
Next one is image handling and alt tags. You know what an alt tag is.
Alt tag, finally. All right, when you click over, you hover your mouse over an image, or even, I think hyperlinks can have alt tags, kind of. The text that pops up, it doesn't even always pop up.
For those of you who are not watching, I just nodded yes.
Yeah. Sometimes the text will pop up and explain what this image is, but it doesn't always pop up. I think it either depends on your browser or the site itself. But it tells the search engine, hey, this is what this image is about, because now that you all listen to 48, 49 podcasts, you know that Google does not read images.
And it's saying that images in a CMS navigational element should preferably use the CSS image replacement, which is how you can do the exact same thing with CSS, which is Cascade Style Sheets, which is just a way of formatting. And we had remember when the SEO rapper was in and he said we should use CSS, and I was like, I'm not sure we should use CSS.
Tables were getting
and
phased.
it took me a while to. Well, it's not that they're getting phased out. It's that from an SEO perspective, what you're able to do is have a separate file that is CSS, right? Google doesn't care that you've got this paragraph on the right, this image on the left, this paragraph in the middle. All they care about is what they see when they read your page, right? So a CSS, you could actually have useless, irrelevant content on the top of the HTML page, and then the CSS, the Cascade Style Sheets, which controls the whole layout of the page, could actually display it lower in the page.
Okay.
So you could have useless content on the top of your HTML page as you view it in a browser, and then all your valuable keyword-rich content lower. And in the actual HTML code, the valuable keyword-rich content would show up first as a Google monster would read it,
Gotcha.
And then all the junk could go on the bottom. And we've talked about keywords and the fact that keywords should be closer to the top, keyword relevance, keyword density, keyword prominence. So a CSS just does two things. It allows you to manipulate that if you choose. It also gets all of the text related to tables out of the way. So the CSS is on another file, and then your HTML file is just the content that you really want Google to see.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a much better way from an SEO perspective to do things. So and look, the very next thing is CSS exceptions. Yeah. So
what's a CSS exception?
I'm going to read that right now. So this is what it is. So one thing about content management systems is that there's a lot of ways when you're working with a particular web page. You may have a section over on the right about news, and that news section is part of the content management system. It's a separate area. Your client or you can go in and edit that area and update the news. We just finished a website that does this, which is why I'm saying it. Now, in the content management solution, in the template, it may define what is going to happen in that little news section. Is the text going to be big or small, underlined, not underlined, linked, not linked, whatever, all of those nuances. Well, if you want to do something different, there should be an easy way to override that. Okay. And that's what that's saying. You should have an easy way to override kind of the standard Cascade style sheets or the standard styling of that particular template in that content management system. Wow, that was, I don't know, we're getting really
wake up.
All I gotta say now is,
all of you wake
how about
up.
that, San D'Angelo? Are we still fun?
Wake up, guys.
There's your fun now. All right. Hey, we're on the last one though, so this is good. Static caching option. And you know what? I don't even need this piece of paper. I actually know what that is. Static caching is, you guess? Static caching.
Where your cache stays the same?
It's kind of, that's good. So what it is, all of these content management systems are very dynamic. They pull information from different places. They're checking what language. They're checking all of this stuff out, and then presenting the information to the user, right? Well, all of that checking is CPU intensive. So if this option is saying, okay, now that I've got everything the way I want it, let's cache the pages. So I'm not going to change them, so we can cache them. And so instead of having to go and recalculate all of the nuances of the page and how it's going to look, it does it once, stores a cached version of that page, and then that's what it displays. And that happens much quicker. So if you're on a high traffic website, it's an absolute must. Yeah, and without question, you can obviously get away with it. Also, depending on your hosting solution, if you're on a server with thousands of websites, then this is going to be an issue. And simply by caching it, you may save yourself the headache and actually continue to be able to use that cheaper solution. Or again, you could call us and we'll
do it for you.
We'll take care of you the right way.
And that's what's up. Before we go, I want to shout out to a couple people that sent emails. Todd Bryson at coastalclc.com, Coastal Children's Learning Center out in California, Costa Mesa, possibly. He sent a website analysis request a couple weeks ago. I got back with him, and then he sent me an email. I was like, hey, we're going to talk. And he sent a thing that says, by the way, love the podcast. Thanks,
Woo,
Todd. I appreciate that. So, Todd, I'm actually going to give you a call a little later today to talk about what we had talked about over email, but by the time you actually listen to this, it will have been like a week later. So I called you.
Unless he's watching.
There you go. So I called you, Todd. And Troy Caesar with drivertrainingassociates.com submitted an analysis, a request for his website of SEO because he's doing some SEO. And I spoke with him yesterday a little bit. So, and actually, Troy, we're going to talk again today, which will be a week after you listen to this. And then the last one, this is my main man. I've had a chance to talk with Garen a couple times over Instant Messenger and email. Garen at deaddogdesign.net, deaddogdesign.net. Darren is actually kind of doing something similar to what we're doing on the, Garen is doing something like what we're doing on the podcast. We just put out this information for free, just want to help people. Garen had some firsthand experience with online scams, so he built a website to help protect us, you guys, everyone. So I want everyone to go check out this website. It is report-online-scams.com. He had an experience with a company, and he's like, hey, man, I'm just putting this out there for other people that have been ripped off and to try to protect people. So, you got some time, go take a look at his website because there are a lot of SEO scams out there. There's a lot of just scams in general out there. And I think we actually did a podcast a long time ago about how to convince a website client that's been an SEO client that's already been screwed by an SEO company, how to convince them that you're legit. So there is a lot of scams out there that are going around, not just with SEO. And Garen took the time to create a website and catalog all of these scams that have been out there. So
and you can actually submit a new scam, and
you can submit a new scam. Cool. I looked at it, I thought it was very cool, and he's just like he said, Garen is just doing this for free, not charging us. No, you don't pay. It's just to protect himself and other people. So everyone take a look at report-online-scams.com, and if you just if you Google report online scams, .com with spaces in between each word, he'll actually come up on that page. You can find him that way.
If you can't find the dash on your
There
keyboard.
you go. So Darren, there you go, man. That was just for you. Thanks for what you're doing, boss.
Yeah, we love what you're doing. All right, that is the end of podcast number 49. You are, or we're listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. And until next time, I'm Chris Burres.
And this is Paul Hansen.
Bye-bye for now.